Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Elevated Marketing Podcast, where we simplify complicated digital marketing topics to make your business grow. Today, we're going to talk about one of Brenna's favorite topics, email marketing. But we're going to talk about how to use email marketing with your ads, one of my favorite topics. So we're going to combine our likeness here and have a good time. But before we get started, what was your first job?
Ooh, it was in retail, and I worked at Justice.
Mm-hmm.
It was a learning experience. It was fun overall, and this was in high school, so I was like still small enough to where like if we had cute stuff that came in that like adults or like older teens could wear, I could fit in it, and so that was great.
How old were you?
I got a job as soon as I was able to. What age is that? 15 or 16?
15, I think. At least that's when I started. My first job was 15.
I'm pretty
And maybe even 14. I know it was 14. I think you can actually be 14 at like McDonald's or something.
Okay. I think I was 15 because I know I couldn't drive yet.
Yeah.
My parents had to take me, but it was that independence I wanted. I didn't have to work, but I wanted to. So
My first job was at the Johnson County Fair at the corn dog stand.
oh, fun.
Working a week at the corn dog stand, and it was yeah. I remember they didn't pay me what I was supposed to get paid, and I remember my mom getting all upset with them. They end up paying me, but that was
Good.
my first job, was at the corn dog stand, and then a
Oh,
series of fast food restaurants.
nice.
But I've always been working, that's for sure.
Same.
All right, so let's talk about how to use email marketing with your ads. I know we've done a show on it before already, but why email marketing? Why now?
Email marketing, again, it's that direct point of contact. It's good for anyone, but it's especially good if you have a longer sales cycle because you've got them into your flow and you can directly communicate with them on a consistent basis.
It's the one audience right now that you can have trust in, that it is your audience. You own that audience. You've built that audience. Hopefully you didn't buy that audience.
About to say.
Maybe you can convince them to come over, but it's the one source that if you did build the list yourself, you know who that audience is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's yours.
All right, so we're going to do a twist today because some people might not think about this, using email marketing with your ads. So how do you know that you are ready to start this?
Well, there are a few different, I guess, focal points when it comes to starting this. I think we've already said it, but if you have a longer sales cycle, that's one maybe key point that you should be looking for if this is a good fit.
They're not going to buy right away. So you're going to need multiple messages to them. And so you want to get them on your email list.
For sure. For sure.
How about another one?
Well, if you have already developed maybe the reasons why someone would want to join your email list, you don't want to go into it blind. So if you have developed this already, that can be used to your benefit in this case.
That is crucial. I think a lot of people ask people to be on their email list, and now we're running ads with this, and you're spending money for this, and you have not come up with a good reason why I should join your email list. And that's going to go through a lot of budget really quickly.
Yeah. If you can't come up with reasons yourself, then do some digging.
Yeah. They're not just going to sign up because you asked.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have a lot of traffic to your website to begin with,
Mhm.
and you know the importance of building an email list. Doing it through ads is a great way to build that list because you got to have traffic to your website in order to even, you got to get in front of some people.
Yeah, and that ties into even beyond email marketing and ads. You got to think about SEO, all that stuff when it comes to traffic to the website. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of ways to drive traffic, but you're already,
yeah.
and this is another thing, you're already running ads and
Mhm.
your budget is big enough to run the regular push for products or services, and you can slice off some of that budget in order to build your email list because you have a longer sales cycle. That is great. So that's one way. So
Mhm.
slicing off part of it, but we'll also talk about here in a minute how it's just can be part of the ad budget. It's just what you're asking for in the end.
Mhm. Yep. Something else, if you have been running ads and you've already found your audience on a specific platform, then you know if you're running ads to promote your email list, your audience is there and you're going to have a better chance at, maybe touching those people
Yep.
in your email communications.
You're talking to your audience.
Yep.
Okay. Probably the last one on our list is you have been running some sort of email marketing for a little while.
Mhm.
You're not, going to get someone to sign up for your email list if you haven't been running it for a while. You haven't been kind of developed your email, the content that's going into that. You've tested a lot of things. This isn't your first rodeo when it comes to email marketing. I wouldn't use ads to develop that for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is going to make a big difference if you've been running email marketing and you have different metrics to analyze. You've done your homework, you know what works well, what doesn't work well. All
Hmm.
of that.
Okay. So let's talk about building the list. Give me a way to build a list with ads.
Yes, so you can use a form that is directly in, say, a social media ad. That platform, those forms are the
They're
audience doesn't
built
ever.
in. It's
Yeah.
like right there in the feed, and when you click on that ad, it gives you a pop-up right there, and you've already worked in your messaging why they're gonna sign up for that. It can integrate with your email marketing. So let's say it's a download or it's something like that. It can automatically be shooting out from your email platform. So Facebook ads, not Google ads, but LinkedIn ads, those can all integrate and with your social media and your email platform to build your list.
And those social media platforms will probably like your ad a little better because you aren't making the audience leave their
Correct.
platform. So,
Correct. And so in that form, that is what we're talking about, where if you have a budget that you can kind of slice off from your existing ad budget, you can strictly run ads just to build your email marketing. We did this before, and we
mhm.
did it with a bed and breakfast in out west in California. And the download that they were getting was a recipe from all the recipes that this bed and breakfast had. And we were building 100 to 200 people a month added to this list, all from running ads inside of Facebook. And it did really well.
Yeah, I mean, those are huge numbers when it comes to email marketing.
Yeah.
Um,
And they raised their hands and they wanted to be part of it.
yep.
So, okay, so we talked about forms directly in the platform. Let's go to another way that we are just getting people to the landing page and we're running ads. And remember, we've talked about landing pages before. Every page of your website should function like a landing page, but we've gotten them there. Let's talk about how we can use email marketing in that aspect.
Yes. So I guess depending on what your landing page is about, maybe in this example, you've just got a contact us form and it's inquiring about a product or service that you offer. If you're including a double opt-in on that form, you can get them into your email funnel and, start a welcome. We'll get to that, but that's
Yeah.
one way.
Yeah. I mean, that's simple enough. Just a
Mhm.
simple form and just adding them to your email list.
Yep.
Um, how about the other one?
So this can be, trying to think of,
Well, so we're just talking about like lowering the conversion point. The first
yeah.
one, you want them to reach out to you and you want them to, get more information about your product or service. Well, maybe that's not the first thing that you do to introduce a product or service. Maybe you're giving them this helpful guide, and in
Mhm.
exchange, they're giving up their email. And so you're lowering that conversion point and you're using the longer process of email marketing to tell them about your products and service.
Yes, like you're in a way trying to incentivize them to hand over their email, but they're going to get this awesome guide in exchange or
Or what about a quiz?
a quiz. It could even be maybe a percentage off if you're selling products on your website.
Yep, yep. I mean, if maybe you've got this quiz where you're asking them whether or not they'd be a good fit for your product or service.
Mhm.
And I mean, we've got one that's kind of doing really well in that realm, like 100 to 200 emails a month or something like that.
Yep.
That's another great way instead of, you know, trying to go after that 5% that want to know about your products and service right then and there, lower
Mhm.
it with email marketing.
Yeah. And this is just, I mean, it's really a way to just you hear passive income. This is like a passive email building like
Mhm.
form. Like it's very little time and work that goes into it.
But you had to get people to your website first, and so ads
Yeah.
allows you to get to your audience. We're just lowering the conversion point and then using
Yep.
email marketing. So, in any of these ways that we have described that, there are things that go along with that. What are some of the things you wanna make sure you set up with that?
Yeah. So if you are an e-commerce site, you'll want to be sure you're setting up abandoned cart emails.
Mhm.
So, it's exactly what it is. We've all heard of them, but they're important.
Yep, yep. So you've gone through this whole thing and you're just running regular ads, and people go to purchase and they don't purchase. Abandoned cart emails goes back and gives people a reason. Hey, you left something in your cart. Did you think about this or that? Or here's this discount. And so you are using email marketing with your ads because you got ads to come in there, but you're following them up with that email.
Yep, for sure. There's also another sort of abandonment that is related to this, and it's browse abandonment.
Love it.
I mean, it's as long as they're signed in, you can still hit them with this browse abandonment email, but it's, similar to abandoned cart.
Yep, yep. And so even if you're not in e-commerce though, let's say you're going back to that quiz or you're going back to the form and the double opt-in, um, you're probably creating some automations from there, right?
Yep, for sure. Simple
You
as
know,
a
just
welcome automation.
Yep. Well, just a simple welcome automation, but if they signed up for through a quiz or a download, then you probably have an automation that is very specific email automation to that download and talking to
Yeah.
that audience.
Yeah. Well, and it's important to utilize that because you can use that as an introduction to what you do as a business and what you offer. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then even after those automations, you don't want to forget about them and you want to add them to your ongoing newsletter, right?
Yep. For sure.
I mean, if you don't have just a basic newsletter, you got to get that started like ASAP.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so we talked about building lists through, directly forms inside the platform. We've talked about lowering the conversion point with landing pages. All of these things are building your list, but if you happen to be in the great place of you already have a list or you get to this place, what you can do with ads is you can upload that list into these platforms and you can target the list itself, or you can build lookalike audiences to target those audiences as well. Lots of
dynamic
great stuff.
duo.
Mhm. Okay, I feel like we have talked about how to use ads with your email marketing a lot. Is there any
Mhm.
last minute things that we're not thinking of?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the only thing, which we've said a million times, just don't underestimate the power of email marketing. It
Yeah,
may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you're running ads, but it can definitely help you along the way.
it doesn't sound sexy, but it works. All right, well, that wraps it up for now on this topic. We appreciate you listening, and wherever you're at, if you want to rate and review the podcast, and if you're over on YouTube, certainly subscribe to the channel. We put out a new episode every week, and we do have a newsletter. It's on LinkedIn, or we have one that goes out as well on our website. So certainly sign up there, and we are definitely on all the social media channels. All right, take care.